Okay, so this is going to be our first set of notes for Unit 1, which is on rigid transformations and congruence. You either need to keep all of your math notes in a notebook together, or at the end of your Unit 1 workbook, there are several blank pages. You can also take your notes there. That way everything is all together all the time. And when we have our EOG at the end of the year, you've got everything organized, your notes, your work, everything, okay? So at the top of your paper, I want you to write translations. And then under that, we have two definitions to start with. Our first definition is pre-image, which is our original point or figure before we do anything to it. So our original figure before we do any transformations. And then our image is the figure after we've done a transformation to it. So these notes today, we're specifically talking about translations. So a translation is when we slide a point or a shape without turning it or flipping it. So all we do is take the point or shape and slide it some direction. When we think about the coordinate grid, let's remind ourselves that our horizontal axis is our x-axis. Okay, so if I move to the right, my x value is going to be getting bigger, right? So x gets bigger. If I move to the left, these are my negative x values, so my x value gets smaller. I forgot my s there. When we think about our vertical axis or moving up and down, this is our y-axis. So our purple or our vertical axis is our y-axis. If I move up, then my y value gets bigger. And if I move down, then my y value gets smaller. Okay? So when I move up, my x value or my y value increases. When I move down, my y value decreases. When I move to the right, my x value increases. And when I move to the left, my x value decreases. Okay, so we're going to do one example together to start with. So translate triangle ABC 2 units to the right and 1 unit down. So triangle ABC, A, we're going to put here at -3, 1. So point A is at -3, 1. B is going to be at 0, 4. And C is going to be at -1, -2, okay? So here's triangle ABC. We want to translate 2 units to the right and 1 unit down. 2 to the right, that's going to be my x value because I'm going this direction to the right, which means my x value is going to increase by 2. So when I started with x, y, my image ordered pairs are going to be x plus 2 because I'm moving each point to the right 2, so each x value is getting 2 bigger. And then 1 unit down, which affects my y value. If I'm going down 1, then my y value is going to decrease by 1, okay? So it would be y minus 1. That's how we would write that rule. So let's start with A. I want to go 2 to the right, 1 down. I see that A prime is at -1, 0. B, I go 2 to the right and 1 down. I see that B prime is at 2, 3. And then C, -1, -2, I go 2 to the right and 1 down. I see that C prime is at 1, -3. Let's go ahead and connect all my dots. I see that my shape has not changed size or shape. And I can see that my rule is exactly right. I add 2 to my x value. -3 plus 2 is -1. 0 plus 2 is 2. -1 plus 2 is 1. And I subtract 1 from my y value. 1 minus 1 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. -2 minus 1 is -3. Okay? All right. Looking at this last example together, translate each point 3 units up and 6 units to the left. So we have point A. Let's start point A at 2, 9. B is going to be at 3, 7. C is going to be at 4, 5. And D is going to be at -1, -10. So this time we don't have a coordinate grid to help us visualize this. We just want to think about the rule itself. So let's start by thinking about this 3 units up. So remember, when we're going up on our coordinate grid, that's going to increase our y. So we know that our y value is going to increase by 3 units because I'm going 3 units up. And then over here, I have 6 units to the left. So that's going to affect my x value. If I'm going to the left on my coordinate grid, I'm getting smaller by 6. So my rule will be x minus 6, y plus 3. Okay? So let's look at this. If I started with the ordered pair 2, 9, and I use this rule, I'm going to say 2 minus 6, 9 plus 3. 2 minus 6 is -4. 9 plus 3 is 12. For point B, 3, 7, I'm going to say 3 minus 6, 7 plus 3. 3 minus 6 is -3. 7 plus 3 is 10. So B prime would be at the ordered pair -3, 10. C is at 4, 5, so I'm going to say 4 minus 6. Again, I'm using my rule here, going to the left 6 and up 3. And then 5 plus 3. So C prime will be at -2, 8. And then lastly, for point D, I'm at -1, -10. So I'm going to say -1 minus 6, -10 plus 3. Again, using my rule that I created. -1 minus 6 is -7. -10 plus 3 is also -7. So D prime would be at the ordered pair -7, -7.